My name is Tony Thomas, and you're watching Hardwired Exotics on YouTube. What's going on YouTube today? Like every other day that we film, I don't really know what we're going to talk about.
And I got a full belly.
Me too, man.
So
it's really difficult eating. So I think we're going to take a break from babies.
Yeah.
We've done jungle woman stuff. We've done the lavender stuff. We've done the trick stuff. There's some albino stuff in here. It's almost all sold.
I like albinos.
Some het DG stuff, super OD, het pied stuff.
There's a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, maybe we'll do some OD pied stuff on the next episode.
Okay.
We'll see.
That's a cool hat you got on.
Cool hat.
Very Hawaiian.
Yeah, it's from these balls.
These balls.
All that swag he sends out.
Yeah.
Representing. If y'all missed the Thigh Huggers picture.
Yeah.
Y'all can go back and
yeah, that's on Tony's OnlyFans. It'll only be up till October. Then they're closing it down. Alright, so we talked about all that cool stuff.
Yep.
Some swag.
So
what are we talking about?
let's talk about, I went live the other day on Instagram talking about this simply because I've been having a lot of conversation with people. What's your feelings and your thoughts about doing head-to-head pairings? Well, I think that's what I want to get into, but first, before we start head-to-head pairings, let's talk about what actually makes a animal het. And to start that, what is het even short for?
Oh, heterozygous.
Oh, look at the brains on Craig.
I know, right?
Hey, you know that movie?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, I don't. What's that one?
Right,
you got. If y'all know what it is, leave a comment down below because I don't know that he got me.
Look at the brains on Brad is actually.
Look at the brains on Brad, and if y'all know the movie quote, leave it down below, and I'll go like a picture on your Instagram or something like that. Yeah, I'll figure something out for you.
Yep. Anyway, so yes, Craig is right. Heterozygous. Heterozygous. I can't even say it.
See, didn't even think a chemistry guy could know these biological terms.
Before we get into actually what the het is, we have to know where the het comes from. And the het comes from recessive traits. So any of your dominant, incomplete dominant, codominant, any other genetic stuff, you cannot have a het of any of that stuff. So hets only come from recessive animals. And what are recessive animals? Let me rephrase that. What are the recessive traits that we see in ball pythons? Clown, pied, lavender albino, regular albino, candy. Name some more, Craig.
Xanthic.
Xanthics.
We said albino, we said pied, we said leopards.
Leopard's not a recessive trait.
That's right, it's codominant.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm being the noob. I'm sorry. All right, so recessive traits such as
whatever
that.
these recessive traits.
There's a ton of them.
Ghost.
Whatever you want to call it. Desert ghost.
Desert ghost. Yeah. So all of these are recessive traits. So how do you get a het?
How do you get a het in life? Well, to get a het in life, you go ahead. All right.
So het means that recessive animal bred an animal that's not het and produced babies. All of those animals that come from that recessive trait, either mother or father, are 100% het for whatever that recessive trait is. Follow me?
I feel you because I'll be knowing what hets are and things like that because I got some het this and het that in me.
All right. So all those babies are now het. They are all 100% het because they come directly from a recessive parent. 100% hets.
That's right.
So let's think about that kind of on like human terms. What's the correct term for midget?
A dwarf?
Dwarfism.
Little people?
I think it's dwarfism.
It is dwarfism.
Is a recessive trait in many animals, but let's just use it for humans so that it's a little bit easier for you to understand. If a dwarf or midget
little person
breeds with a
little person, we gotta use that term because it's PC, even though we're being scientific.
Okay.
Yeah. Because haters gonna hate.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm not picking on them.
I know.
And I'll bring up another thing in here in a second. So, if they breed with a non-carrier
of that gene chromosome thingamajig, yeah,
all of the babies that those two would produce would not be dwarf, but they would carry the dwarfism gene.
Correct.
Albino. Humans can be albino as well.
Oh, hang on. All right, so I got to get in here. So we were talking about this the other day, and you'll really like this. I've seen pied, like my beard, pied, right? Have you ever seen a pied person?
Don't think so.
Okay, so piedism is like in everything. Mm-hmm. So basically your skin would be like different colors and everything, like I'm gingery and whatnot. But you see it a lot. I bumped into an Asian guy the other day that was pied.
Really?
And it was cool. It's cool to see, because in humans you don't see it as much. Mm-hmm. You know, or we don't notice it as much because we deal with animals and we're genetically putting these things together to get what we're getting at. But I actually saw a pied human the other day.
Yep, it's possible.
No, it wasn't pied. It was pied. It was 100%.
It's possible for you to be human.
My bad. So I had to get off on a tangent there. That was just the coolest thing I saw.
My dad actually seen a piebald deer recently here in Jenkins County.
Really? Mm-hmm. And then they found piebald alligators not too long ago. Yeah. So I think it's pretty stinking cool.
So piebald, I've seen turtles. I mean, there are pieds everywhere. Yeah. Albinos everywhere.
Yeah, leucistics everywhere. Yeah. Melanistics everywhere.
But back to
it. My bad. Sorry, I got off on a tangent.
Back to human. Let's use albinoism. If a human is albino and they breed to another human that does not carry, that is not a het or is not visually albino, none of the offspring will be visually albino.
That's correct.
But here's where here's where it gets a little funny. All those babies are hets. Well, if one of those het babies doesn't look like albino, but it carries it, mm-hmm. and it breeds to another carrier that doesn't look albino, but it carries albino, and they breed together, there is a 25% chance that they could produce an albino offspring. This
is true. We've seen this last year.
That's why you see stuff that, well, this parent's not, visually look like this, and this parent doesn't visually look like this, and they bred them together, and you got a visual recessive trait. It's because both those parents were carriers. They were hets. So, anyway, that gives you a little bit of the breakdown, and I know this may be boring for a lot of people, but we have to remember that there's still some of the newer people in the hobby that truly don't understand this.
It's very true. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand het versus codoms.
All right. So, let's talk about your percentages. I've already told you, if you breed a recessive to a non-recessive, all of those babies in that offspring are a 100% het because they come from the visual.
Correct.
So, what happens if you breed a visual recessive animal? Let's use piebald. You breed a piebald to one of those non-visual piebalds, but is het. So, let's say the male is a pied, the female is a het pied. What is your percentages?
So if you got an actual visual with 100% het
to 100%,
then you should have a 50% chance.
50% of your clutch statistically should be visual pieds.
Correct.
So half of them are going to be pieds, half of them are going to be normals. But what are those normals?
Hets.
Why are they hets?
Because it carries over one of the genes from the visual, and it carries over a possible gene from the het that came from. So there's a 50% or 66% or 36% or there's a percentage that it's a het.
Nope. They're 100%
het.
Because why?
Because
the dad was visually pied.
That's right.
So those babies are still 100% hets if they come from a visual.
That's right.
So you've made pieds. You've made normals that are 100% het pieds. Does that make sense?
And now I'm sad because I realize I don't have any pieds in my collection.
Grow up, Craig.
I'm growing up. I'm strong. I'm a strong man wearing a pink shirt. I'm good.
So anyway, does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Pieds to a het. You're gonna make pieds. You're gonna make normals that are 100% het pieds.
It's just math, y'all.
Just math. Just that simple. So that's how you get 100% hets. That's the only possible way that you can make a 100% het it has to come from a parent. Got it.
Got it.
Okay.
So if you do a het to a het, you don't get 100% het.
Nope.
Got it. All right,
That's
continue.
next.
That's next. All right.
All right.
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2. Round 2.
Round 2. Fights.
I know that one.
There you go. Very good. Oh, he's becoming a nerd. I'm so proud of him.
All right. So, how do you get these 66% hits?
Oh, that's when you do a het to a het.
That is exactly right, Chris.
And then if you do a het to a het, then some of them, a percentage of them are going to be visual. And if you're lucky, a percentage of them are going to be visual. And then if you're not lucky, the remainders are going to be a 66% het.
Very good.
Okay.
Look at the brains on Chris.
I mean, I do math for a stinking living. You know, I'm a math magician, y'all. Ta-da!
Exactly right, Craig. So, let's say normal het albino to a normal het albino. Basically, look like normals. Breed them together. You have a 25% chance per egg that you're going to hit albino out of that clutch.
Right.
So let's say the female lays 4 eggs, because this would be easy math. So if she lays 4 eggs, statistically, one of those eggs should be a visual albino.
That's correct.
So what about the other 3?
66%.
They are 66% het. Well, where does 66% het come from?
Because they're not. The other 33% is the fact that it might not be in there.
Exactly.
So you got a 66% chance that there is something in there out of 4. So if you take 4, that's
let's take 1 out of the equation.
Yep. Then you have.
You take 1
3
visual out of the equation, so you have 3 normals.
Mm-hmm.
So out of those 3 normals, statistically, 2 of these 3 should be het albino.
That's correct.
But you can't pick that one out because why? They're normal.
Yeah.
You can't visually tell these are different.
Even though some people say, "Oh, that one's got a sheen to it, so it's got to be the het for this."
Yep.
You know.
You still can't. Physically, you cannot bet your life on which one's right.
And that's why they say, "Prove it out."
Prove it out. So you have 3 babies left. 2 of these 3 are going to be het albino. The other one is not. How do you know which one? Statistically.
Statistically.
We're still talking statistics. So you don't know which one of these are. So there's a 66% chance. Actually, it's 66.6 to infinity.
Until it goes to a 7, yeah.
Yep.
Pi squared.
Right.
Oh, we should have used pi for that. Oh, that's a good joke. All right, yeah.
Anyway, people are like, "Oh, that was lame."
It is lame. And this is what happened, dude. I'm telling you.
This is. I mean, dude, this is good information.
Yeah, it is good information.
So, that's why I call it 66% het, because you don't know which 2 of these 3 are going to prove out to be het albino.
Right.
So we call it 66% het. Yes, it should be 66.6, whatever.
It's a little confusing.
Because 3 of these make 100%, but you're only using 2.
That's correct.
So 66%. 66% of these remaining 3 are going to be het for albino.
Well, what's that last one?
The last
My man. I cut. My man.
Let me throw my hands in it.
Throw my hands. You don't want these hands. All right. And back to it. Go.
All right. So 100% het. Anything from a visual is 100% het. Period. No ifs, ands, buts about that. 66% hets. The non-visuals from a het-to-het pairing are 66%. Last one. The only other term that really should matter when it comes to het is what?
Pos het.
Pos het of what? What percentage?
Oh, pos het of the 100%? Or no, pos het of 33%? What? I don't know.
So when it comes to hets, the only 3 percentages that matter: 100% hets, 66% hets, 50% hets.
There you go.
How do you get 50% het?
I don't know, Tony. How do you get 50% hets?
Well, it's even the easiest of them all.
Is it a visual to a visual?
No.
No.
Because guess what a visual to a visual is going to do?
Oh, it's gonna give you.
You get no hits.
That's right. Because
You know why you don't get any hits?
Because you get all visuals.
All visuals.
There we go.
All right. So how do you get a 50% hit? Let's use Desert Ghost because
Let's use Desert Ghost.
it's my
indeed.
favorite recessive.
Okay.
So if you have, let's say, a pastel 100% het DG male, and you breed that pastel 100% het DG male to a normal, what are you going to get in the clutch?
Pastels.
And
Pastels.
normals.
Because that's all you get is pastels.
Pastels and
normals.
normals.
That's right. All right.
But the dad, the sire, is 100% het for DG.
That's right.
So how many of those babies are going to statistically get the het DG part?
So an even number to be half.
Statistically, it should
Statistically,
be 50%. So let's say you got 4 babies, because we're good at this 4 thing.
Yeah, everybody knows 4.
4 babies out of that clutch.
Mm-hmm.
Which 2 are going to be het DG and which 2 aren't?
The 2 that you keep are going to be aren't. And then the 2 you sell that you said possible are going to be are.
Probably
so, because that's the way the odds work.
In my favor, that's
all right. So I don't know, Tony, how
you can't tell.
So
you can't tell.
Oh, sorry, I just leaned back and about fell over.
So if you have those 4 babies, all 4 of these are going to be 50% het for DG, so, which means 2 of these 4 are going to prove out to be het DG statistically.
Statistically,
I like throwing that in there.
I like that. Statistically,
doesn't always prove out.
That's right.
But statistically, 2 of these 4 should be. So these babies, these 4 babies, are 50% het for DG because the dad is 100% het. So somebody's going to buy one of these pos hets, somebody's going to buy this pos het, somebody's going to buy this pos het, somebody's going to buy this pos het, and statistically 2 out of these 4 should prove out to be het DG as well.
So it's a gamble. You got to play the odds.
Most of the time, your pos het stuff is going to be cheaper than your 100% hets because you're not gambling. If you buy a 100% het animal, you know what you're getting. If you buy it from a reputable breeder. I'm just going to throw that out there too.
Throw that out there.
I'm not getting into that today. But if you buy them from a reputable breeder, 100% hets are going to prove out to be 100% het. There's no proving. It is 100% het.
Because it is
what it is.
What it is.
So 66% and 50% have to be proven out. And statistically, 50% and 66% is still to your advantage.
That's right.
So there's still either half or more than half % chance that yours will prove.
Got to play them odds. It's like getting a pre-owned versus a certified pre-owned.
Back in the day, this was the only odds that you played.
Yeah.
This is what you got. You got a pie that's 66% het, or you got a pie that's 50% het, and you got a bunch of them. You bred them together till you finally ended up with a pie.
And you spent $25,000 on them.
You spent a crap ton of money.
Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, that's your lesson today. We'll see you next go around.
Thanks for watching Hardwired Exotics, and make sure you subscribe. Bye!